Welcome to another episode of the Theater Professor vidcast. My name is Terry Dana Chikimiak II, and I am the Theater Professor, and you will have noticed that I did not, this week, do an intro video with my face, and there's a couple of reasons for that. One is I am running behind this week. I almost didn't even do a video, but I decided, you know what? It would be a bad move for me not to do a video because there are people who are interested and keep track of what I'm doing each week. So I am indeed doing a video, but it did mean that I had to forego my usual face intro. So you're getting this intro instead. So I hope you enjoy it. It's you know, I feel horrible, but part of that is because of the class that I've been offering. My Art Rage for the Desktop 101, it has been keeping me so extremely busy. And you add on to that this is the beginning of the semester. And beginning of semesters are always the hardest part of semester. Once you get going, it's not, it's real easy. But, getting that first 2 weeks and can drive me crazy. On that note, if you are a regular listener, I will be offering a new class in February, and it's going to be a Procreate, an intro to Procreate, the art app. I've had a couple people ask about if I'd be doing a class for that, and I have decided that is actually going to be the next one I create. And there are some other changes within the website as well. I'm going to be changing to a new member system, and I'm looking at using WP Courseware for my online courses. So there's a bit of changes going on. Nothing that's going to affect anything hugely, but for those of you that do visit the website regularly, you are going to see hopefully what I consider improvements. I also want to give a shout out to my current Patreon subscribers, because these are the people that are helping me pay for the things like my web hosting and my video hosting. So I do want to thank those that are currently helping out with that. The first one is Art Rage. Thank you guys so much. You guys have been wonderfully supportive, and I will tell you that the people that are taking my Art Rage 101 class are really enjoying the program. And I also want to thank George Vandermark, who is a recent Patreon supporter, along with Kathy Lonsdale, who's been with me now. She was actually my first Patreon supporter. So those are my 3 Patreon supporters. Thank you guys so much. You guys are fabulous. And you'll hear your name every once in a while when I talk about Patreon. All right, let's move into the app that we're going to be working on this week. And I'm moving way different than what I've been doing. I've been doing art apps, been doing photo apps. This week I'm doing a comic strip app, and I felt like I wanted to do something fun this week. I feel like I've been a little bit stuck in a rut, and so we're going to move out a little bit and start to branch out into other apps, because I have hit a lot of art apps and a couple of photo apps, but the art apps, I've hit so many of them that it was time for a change. Now, if you come across an art app and you find something that you really want me to look at and do a tutorial on, feel free to leave me a comment. I am always willing. For those that watch, you guys are my viewers. You are the people who I care about, and so if there's something that you want me to do, let me know. I will go ahead and look it up. I'll learn it, and I will do the tutorial. But this week we're looking at strip design, and I don't mean taking off your clothes. What I mean is comic strips, and you see it on my screen right now. It is the icon in the top right, the POW. So let's go ahead and open it. Strip Designer, here we go. And you'll see here that I actually have some comics. I've kind of played with this in the past, and what this does is it allows you to create comics either using drawings or photographs. So, for example, as you're looking at our screen right now, menu items, we have an import in the top right. If we click that, you'll see that you can import documents from Dropbox, from your iTunes folder, and from a WebDAV folder. On the top right is our help. And if you click that, you've got some help things that you can look at. We're not going to look at those right now. On the bottom left, you have trash, you have cloud, save it to the cloud, and you have share. And so if I were to click this, I could either save it to the iCloud. Nope, we're not going to do that. Or I can share or duplicate if I was going to share. These are all the places you can share to. And we're not going to duplicate right now. And then, of course, trash. And then on the bottom right, different ways of looking at what you have available. So let's go ahead. Let's create new. And the first thing that you're going to see is you're going to see a ton of templates. You either have small templates, you have full pages, you have titled pages, you have dirty and old, film and embossed, and index. Let's start with a small, very simple. And you're not done when you hit small, because now you have a ton of different styles, looks that you can create. Now, sorry about that. The first one is for any number of pictures. In the bottom, you see the arrow left and the arrow right and the any. If you click the right arrow, these are all 1 picture boxes. These are all 2 picture boxes. 3, 4, and then it goes back to any. So let's start with just a 2. I picked that one. I don't know, I just picked anyone. So you see here you can add photo and you can add photo. Let's go ahead and click on this add photo. Here you can add from a photo album, from a drawing, from your camera, Facebook, Dropbox. You can even add a map or document. Let's start with my photo album. Let's start with moments, because these are my moments. From this moment. Don't judge. Let's see. Do I have any good moments? I'm looking for a 2-picture type thing, because that'll work good here. If I put my wife on there, she will probably kill me. So better safe than sorry. Let's see. Here we go. Let's do this one. A couple of my students. Now, once it's in there, notice I can adjust it. You can move it around. Okay, and then down here we can add a second photo. Again, we're going to go from the photo album. I'm going to scroll up. Scroll button 1, 2, 1, 2. We're going to grab this picture because it's funny. I want to go right there. Now, as you choose between the 2 pictures, see how I can choose between 1 and between 2? Down on the bottom, you have several settings. You have a pan and zoom, which we're not going to mess. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. And there we go. So I've clicked pan and zoom. You can jump into the page, which will allow you to change colors, such as your borders. So I just changed my borders to blue. If you look now, the lines are blue. You can adjust the width of those lines. I made them really thick. You can make them purple. Okay. You can also adjust page. So right now my page is white. Why don't we make it yellow? There we go. So now I've got a purple and yellow border. You can adjust some page effects. So let's grab, I'm just looking through here. There. Now we've got a little bit of kind of an old papery look. You can adjust the layout if you wanted to. We're not going to right now. So we're going to get out of this. So I click done, top right. You can adjust the template. We're not going to do that right now either. Okay. And then if you wanted to, you could actually add things like a balloon. So let's click our balloon. And then we can take, for example, this one here, and you can double tap it to change, any of the text in there. And so let's do like, we do like, dot, dot, dot. Click done. There it is. We can rotate it. And there's a reason I'm rotating it, okay? Actually, I don't want to rotate it. That's what I wanted to do right there. Why don't we make it a little bigger? Then we'll set it right here. And so now it looks like my top right student is going, And you can, you can adjust this however you want. And then you can come down here and you can add another. So let's call that one done. And we can add another one down in the other frame. If we go into page, go into page FX. Nope, not page FX. It is. Oh, it's add. I'm sorry. So we're going to add a balloon. And we're going to make my other student. Move this over here. Let's move this about. We can adjust this. Say, I'm pretty. If my student actually saw this, she would probably kick my butt. But I've got good students, so I can't complain. Let's see, I'm pretty. I'm trying to type upside down right now. There we go. Period. We call that done. And there are other things that you can do with these. So you can, obviously, you can change the font. There we go. You can change the layout if you wanted to. You could change the shape of the balloon. Like I'm making the stroke there big, shadow big. You can adjust the head. You can adjust the tail. You could do no tail. Okay. You could add another tail. Okay, you saw how I removed that tail, so I add a tail. If you just drag it into the center of the circle, boom, it disappears. We'll move this up here. And so you can see where you can have a lot of fun with this. And that's kind of the reason I'm sharing this one this week, is because of it, because of how fun it is. And then when you're all done with your comic, there are other things you can add. You can add stickers. Okay. You can add effects. So let's go, why don't we go colored pencil? And you could come in and put this in here if you wanted to. We're not going to. I'm going to delete that. You can add a cell if you wanted to. We're not going to do that either. Let's go back into the page. Why don't we adjust the page a little bit? And I'm just kind of, there we go. And then when you're all done, you can then share it. You hit your share button up here, and it's rendering. And so, for example, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to save it to photos. And you can save it as a hi. We're going to keep the drop shadow. We click save. And now it's in my photo album. So I can easily jump over to my photos. And you'll see, boom, here's my little comic that I just created. All right. So that's what Strip Designer is. Again, it is a fun little program, and there's obviously a lot more to it. You can go into you can create full pages. Okay. And again, suddenly you can start adjusting how many cells are in the page, and that goes up to 7, 8, 9, goes up to 9. You can do titled pages, dirty and old. They've got some wonderful preset ones here. You've got your films, you've got your inticks, which are really quite nice, especially if you're just doing like photos of friends and things and just putting little bubbles with them, or doing little text things. You can come in here, do two pictures of people, add a photo, and just do a little, little text. And you'll see that if you go into my comics. This is one that I did with my son at that scout camp last year. Just had a little fun with him. One of the things that I didn't show you, so if we come in here again, I'm going to go into this one. And if we add a photo, we'll just grabbing any photo at this point. My exciting face. And you can do things like add a vignette to me. You can add a frame if you wanted to. There we go. You can put filters on it, and it does have all sorts of filters. Even has halftone. Okay, and let me turn off some of these other ones. Remove. Okay, so there's let's turn off, remove. There's a halftone of me, or you could turn on just a comic of me. Okay, so you can go in there and do that to the picture. So there's a lot that you can do with this and just kind of play with it. It's a lot of fun. You can even rotate. So now it looks like, angles. I love angles. There we go. All right. Well, that's it for this week. Again, this is called Strip Designer. It's a way to create these little comic strips that you can then share with people. And, it's a lot of fun. If you have a variety of pictures from an event or something, you can put those images together, or you can draw things, or you can add colored images. And, it's a ton of fun. So I hope you enjoyed this. This, like I said, is a short one this week. My name is Terry Dana Chikimiak II, and I am the Theater Professor.